The night before, I rehearsed in the mirror. Eye contact is dominance, so I stared myself down until I won, which I did, because I always do. I practiced my opener 40 times, then deleted 3 texts she'd already sent, because the one who cares less wins, and I needed her wondering. The morning of, I picked the cafe she suggested, then drove past it twice to arrive 4 minutes late, on purpose, so she'd know I had options. I walked in caring less than anyone in the building. She smiled and waved. I did not wave back. You make her invest first. She'd grabbed us a table. I sat at the next one over and made her move to me, because a man who relocates is a man who qualifies, and I never qualify. She ordered a vanilla latte. I ordered a black coffee I did not want, because wanting things is low value, and I held frame as it scalded me. She said it was so nice to finally meet. I let that sit 4 seconds, then said, "We'll see, because you never qualify yourself. You make her qualify." She asked what I do for work. I stayed mysterious and answered a slightly different question, so she would leave knowing nothing about me, which is the goal. She told me about her dog. I clocked it as a masculinity exam and passed it with 3 seconds of unbroken eye contact, and she looked away to find a napkin, which I logged as submission. She mentioned she likes hiking. I waited, said interesting, and let it die, because validating her interests hands her the frame. I keep the frame. She asked me a question back. I answered with a question, because mirroring builds rapport, and now we were 2 people asking questions into a silence I was winning. I deployed the Kino, 1 calculated arm touch, rehearsed in the mirror for a week. I tapped her elbow for exactly 1 second and pulled back, mission accomplished. She laughed at something the barista said. I noted that I had pre-selection in the room, even though it was the barista, and even though it was not about me. I ran a little push-pull. I told her she seemed cool, paused, then said, for someone who orders vanilla, and watched her not know whether that was good. Then I ran the neg. I told her the haircut was brave. She said thank you. She thought it was a compliment. The frame held. She tried to find something we had in common. I deflected, because common ground is her test to lower my value, and a sigma does not get tested. He tests. She told a funny story. It was actually funny. I felt the laugh coming, and I held frame against my own face, because laughing is investing, so I just nodded once, slowly, like I was approving alone. She stopped telling stories after that. She got quiet. I let the silence stretch to show abundance, that I didn't need this, and I won the silence so completely that she started looking for her keys. She said this was really nice, but she had to go. I read I have to go as her final test, and I passed it by feeling nothing and saying, respect. She stood up. I stayed seated to hold the higher status, then sat there holding status alone at a table, which is just sitting alone at a table, and held frame anyway. She left. I had held frame so hard that in 40 minutes I had not asked 1 real question, said 1 true thing, or had 1 single conversation. She was already in the parking lot. I did not watch her leave, because watching is investing, so I watched the wall, which felt the same but with more frame. I finished the coffee I hated so she would never see me flinch. It had gone cold, so I drank it cold, so the flinch would have nowhere to go. I opened my notes and logged it a win. Under objective, it still said, have a nice coffee, unchecked, but the real objective was the frame, and the frame was perfect. I texted the guru, the frame held, she folded, total domination. He asked if I had fun. I told him fun is a test, and I passed it by having none. Then I asked him who's next.